Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Language Podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. In this episode, I want to tell you a simple story. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's not about success overnight. It's about a normal day, a very normal day. Because sometimes the day that changes your life doesn't look special at all. While you listen, relax your shoulders, slow down your breath, and listen naturally. When I ask you to repeat with me. This is not just listening, this is training your English brain. Let's begin. That morning started like any other morning. No excitement, no big plans. I opened my eyes and stared at the ceiling for a few seconds. Then I said quietly, "It's just another day." Repeat with me. It's just another day. Again, it's just another day. I got out of bed, made coffee, and checked my phone. Messages, emails, news headlines. Nothing surprising, nothing interesting. I didn't feel happy, and I didn't feel sad. I felt empty in a quiet way, like my body was awake, but my mind was still sleeping. I remember thinking, I'll just get through today. Repeat this sentence slowly. I'll just get through today. Again, I'll just get through today. At that moment, I had no idea that this normal day was different. Life-changing days don't warn you. They don't send a message. They don't knock on the door. They arrive quietly, wearing the clothes of an ordinary day. I left the house and walked to the bus stop. The city was already awake. Cars passed by. People walked fast. Some talked on the phone. Some looked tired. Some looked stressed. Everyone was moving, but no one was really present. It felt like everyone was busy, but no one was truly there. While I was waiting for the bus, my mind started to wander. I thought about my job, my habits, my future. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't proud either. I felt like my life was moving forward, but I wasn't choosing the direction. Let's repeat this important sentence. I felt like I was living on autopilot. Again, I felt like I was living on autopilot. The bus arrived late. I checked the time and felt annoyed. Small delays can change your mood very fast. I got on the bus and stood near the door. No seat, too many people, too much noise. I took a deep breath and looked down. Then something small happened. An older man dropped his bag. Papers fell everywhere. People looked, but no one moved. Everyone was busy. Everyone was tired. For 1 second, I did nothing too. Then I stopped. I bent down and helped him pick up the papers. He looked at me, smiled, and said, "Thank you. You didn't have to help, but you did." Let's repeat that sentence together. You didn't have to help, but you did. Again, you didn't have to help, but you did. I went back to my place on the bus, but something inside me felt different. Warmer, calmer, more human. I couldn't explain it, but that small moment stayed with me. Sometimes we think our life changes because of big decisions. A new job, a new country, a big success. But very often life changes because of one small action. Repeat this idea with me. Small actions can change your direction. Again, small actions can change your direction. When I arrived at work, everything looked the same. Same building, same desk, same screen. But I wasn't the same. I listened more. I spoke slower. I reacted less. I realized something important. I wasn't tired because of work. I was tired because of how I was living. Repeat this carefully. I was tired of how I was living. Again, I was tired of how I was living. That normal day didn't change my life in 1 hour, but it planted a question in my mind. And some questions don't leave you alone. The question was simple. Is this the life I want to continue? That question followed me all day. While I answered emails, while I sat in meetings, while I walked home. I tried to ignore it, but it stayed with me. Quiet, patient, waiting. That evening, I didn't turn on the TV. I didn't scroll on my phone. I sat on my bed and thought about my routines. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. There was nothing wrong with my life, but there was nothing alive in it either. I said out loud, something needs to change. Repeat with me. Something needs to change. Again, something needs to change. I didn't know what to change yet. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have courage. I only had honesty, and honesty is often the first step. I asked myself real questions, not easy questions. What do I enjoy? What do I avoid? What am I afraid of? What am I doing just because it feels safe? These questions made me uncomfortable, and that's a good sign. Growth often feels uncomfortable. Repeat this sentence. Growth feels uncomfortable at first. Again, growth feels uncomfortable at first. The next morning, I did something small again. I woke up earlier, not 1 hour earlier, just 10 minutes earlier. I didn't change my whole life. I changed one habit. This is important to remember. You don't need a big change to start. You need a small, repeatable one. Repeat this idea slowly. Small habits create big change. Again, small habits create big change. That week, I started paying attention to my choices. I spoke up once in a meeting. I said no to something I didn't want. I said yes to something that scared me a little. Each action felt small, but together they felt powerful. I realized something very human. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after action. Repeat this clearly. Confidence comes after action. Again, confidence comes after action. That normal day didn't give me a new life. It gave me a new direction. And direction is more important than speed. Let's repeat this final idea. Direction is more important than speed. Again, direction is more important than speed. So if today feels normal for you, don't ignore it. Pay attention. Listen carefully. One small moment, one small choice, one small action might be the beginning of a life that feels more real. Thank you for listening to Global Language Podcast. If this story felt familiar, you're not alone. And if it helped you even a little, please subscribe and join me in the next episode. Sometimes a normal day is exactly what we need to change everything. Today's story is called A Normal Day That Changes Your Life. It starts like any other day. It was a normal morning, nothing special, no big plans, no strong motivation. I woke up, looked at my phone, and sighed. Another day, another routine. Let me repeat that sentence for shadowing. It was just another normal day. Again, it was just another normal day. I got out of bed slowly. I wasn't excited. I wasn't sad. I was just neutral. Sometimes life feels like that. You're not unhappy, but you're not happy either. You're just moving forward on autopilot. Let's repeat this important phrase. I was living on autopilot. Again, I was living on autopilot. I made coffee. I checked my messages. I scrolled without thinking. The same actions, the same order, every single day. I remember thinking, nothing is going to change today. Shadow this sentence with me. Nothing is going to change today. Again, nothing is going to change today. But this is something I've learned in life. Big changes rarely announce themselves. They arrive quietly. That morning, I almost skipped breakfast. I almost skipped a short walk. I almost skipped the moment that changed everything. Sometimes one small decision matters more than a big plan. Let's repeat that. One small decision can change everything. Again, one small decision can change everything. I decided to walk instead of taking the bus. No reason, just a feeling. The air was cool. The street was busy, but calm. People were walking fast, holding coffee, checking their phones. I noticed something important. Everyone looked busy. Everyone looked focused. But no one looked present. I thought to myself, when was the last time I really paid attention? Shadow this sentence. I wasn't really paying attention to my life. Again, I wasn't really paying attention to my life. And that's where the normal day started to change. As I kept walking, something unexpected happened. I saw an old friend. We hadn't spoken in years. Not because of a fight, just life, work, stress, distance. That happens a lot, doesn't it? Let's shadow this. Life slowly pulls people apart. Again, life slowly pulls people apart. We smiled. We said hello. At first, the conversation was small talk. How are you? How's work? Still busy? But then he said something simple, something honest. I changed my life last year. That sentence stopped me. Shadow it. I changed my life last year. Again, I changed my life last year. He didn't say it proudly. He didn't say it proudly. He didn't say it dramatically. He said it calmly. He told me he wasn't happy before. He felt stuck. He felt tired all the time. He felt like every day looked the same. That sounded familiar. Then he said something very important. I didn't wait to feel ready. I started anyway. Let's repeat this powerful sentence. I didn't wait to feel ready. I started anyway. Again, I didn't wait to feel ready. I started anyway. That sentence stayed in my mind all day because many people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for confidence. They wait for the perfect moment. But confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after action. Shadow this carefully. Confidence comes after action. Again, confidence comes after action. After we said goodbye, I kept walking, but my mind was louder than the street. I asked myself real questions. What am I avoiding? What am I afraid of? What would happen if I tried? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary. Let's repeat this sentence. Growth feels uncomfortable at first. Again, growth feels uncomfortable at first. That normal day didn't magically change my life, but it changed my direction. And direction is more important than speed. Shadow this final sentence of part 2. Direction matters more than speed. Again, direction matters more than speed. That evening, I sat alone. No music, no phone, just quiet. I thought about my habits, not my dreams, not my goals, my habits. Because habits build your future quietly, every single day. Let's repeat that. Habits build your future quietly. Again, habits build your future quietly. I didn't promise myself big changes. I didn't say, tomorrow, everything will be different. I chose one small habit, just one, and that's enough. Shadow this sentence. One small habit is enough to start. Again, one small habit is enough to start. That's how real change works. Not fast, not loudly, but consistently. The next morning felt similar. Same alarm, same coffee, same street, but I was different. I was paying attention. I was choosing instead of reacting. And that's the real lesson of the story. A normal day can change your life. Not because something big happens, but because you change how you respond. Let's repeat this final message together. A normal day can change your life. Again, a normal day can change your life. Thank you for listening to Global Language Podcast. If this episode helped you, inspired you, or made you think, please subscribe to the podcast and stay with me. Repeat this with me. Subscribe and keep learning with me. Again, subscribe and keep learning with me. I'll see you in the next episode. And remember, you don't need a new life. Sometimes you just need a new direction.